Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. So, welcome to another video which is about developers. So, who are developers? As per Scrum team, if we talk about developers, these are not the people who are just developing or doing the coding. In Scrum team, other people are also included in developers. For example, quality analysts, business analysts, designers, architects, they all are part of developers. So basically, if we talk in the language of Scrum Guide, then developers are responsible for creating product increment delivered every sprint. So in sprint, in a particular sprint, we decide that this is the sprint goal that we are going to achieve. So just by coding, we cannot achieve that goal, right? For that goal to be achieved, we also need testers who will test that code, and they'll come up with what kind of defects they have found, what bugs they have found, and those things will be communicated to developers in order to resolve those defects so that a quality product can be delivered at the end. And similarly comes the role of architects and business analysts, and apart from it, designers. They have their specific domain of work which is required to complete the sprint goal. So all those people who are involved in producing that increment are come under category of developers. Okay, so let's move ahead. Then what is the work of developers? Like apart from that, developers, like apart from that, which we have just discussed, that is the core functionality that they are going to do. But apart from it, we do have like sprint planning. What is sprint planning? Sprint planning happens on the first day of the sprint, where team will sit, like where product owner will be there, Scrum Master will be there, and the developers will be there. So they together will discuss that what goal we are going to take for this sprint, and they will also decide that what are the product backlog items that we have to take in order to complete that sprint goal. So creating that sprint backlogs, that these are the sprint backlogs that we are going to take up in this sprint, that is the work of developers, because those are the people who are actually going to work upon building that product increment for that sprint. So if they have to work upon something, they would be in better position to know that which product backlog they should select in order to get to that goal. So like commit to achieving the sprint goal. So here what they do, they'll commit that we are going to achieve this goal, and for achieving this goal, as per our understanding, these are the product backlog items that we should take up in the sprint, and those are called sprint backlogs. So you must have understood now that what sprint planning is and what is the role of developers here. Then comes the next work for developers, that is about the quality. That developers have to ensure quality of that increment. And how they are going to ensure that quality? First, that they should adhere to the coding standards. There are coding standards that they need to follow. If they'll not follow, they'll take some shortcuts in order to build the product shortly. Then what will happen? That it will lead to the technical debt in longer term, which will be having negative impact on our product and on our brand value as well. So, and like how are the other things which are impacting quality of the product? Testing. So when testers test the particular code or the increment that we are delivering, so they'll come up with like bugs, defects, and all of that, and they will suggest developers to look at the code once again and rectify all those bugs and defects, because that also leads to lower customer value and lower business impact as well. And then comes the coding reviews. So whatever code review they have to do, it is done by developers only. Then automation is something that needs to be integrated. Like we do have this continuous integration there, where we have automated builds and automated testing as well. So that is also done. Why it is done? Because it reduces the human footprints, and that also helps sometimes in avoiding human errors. So if something can be automated, that is also a good part of bringing quality in the product. So that is also work of developers. Then we move to next. So another work of developers is that daily adaptation. So they all these developers, they'll come up like for example, we do have daily stand-ups, right? We have daily scrum of 15 minutes, where all the developers in the beginning of the day, they'll come together and they will discuss about the progress that they have made till now towards achieving sprint goal for the present sprint. So there they'll check the progress, that where they have what they have achieved till now, and they'll adapt the sprint backlogs as it is necessary. For example, they might feel that we have a lot of technical debt which has created as like till now, and we are facing hurdles in moving ahead. So they can adapt this sprint backlog, that maybe we should take some capacity of our sprint towards resolving this technical debt by processes like refactoring. Okay, so that can also be done by the developers, because like anyhow these daily stand-ups or this daily scrum is for the developers, by the developers, where they will be coming up like what impediments, what hurdles they are facing, and they'll be coming up with different solutions. So all those solutions need to be inculcated in that sprint. So daily adaptation is the work of developers. Now we move to the next, which is another function of developers, that they have to do continuous improvement. How they continuously improve? First of all, by learning new skills which are needed for that particular product in order to give that quality output. Second is technology. For example, now is the time of AI. Okay, so if something can be made, like something can be integrated with AI, artificial intelligence, and if it is giving good results, then it is responsibility of developers that they need to adopt that technology in their sprint goal, so that sprint goal can be achieved with more quality. And apart from it, they also do this continuous improvement by collaboration. How collaboration? Like if we have to take example, then if somebody is being onboarded in the project, and he or she does not know about like how they should move ahead with the work, so someone from developers team who is experienced can provide KT session to that person. So that is kind of collaboration. And we will also learn about another forms of collaboration as we will move later in these videos. Another is the product quality, that we do have this sprint retrospective, right? Sprint retrospective sessions are there, where what we'll do, we will reflect back like what we have done throughout the sprint, what mistakes we have made, what processes or tools we have taken for for achieving this goal, and how we can improve upon that. So retrospective, that sprint retrospective session is dedicatedly for this work only, that we have to improve continuously, because there is always the room for continuous improvement. So that is an important part of developers functions. Like this is very crucial, and it is also an agile principle. So if somebody asks, like interviewer asks you like what is your favorite agile principle, then you can mention about continuous improvement, because continuous improvement agile principle is directly linked to our scrum event, which is scrum retrospective or sprint retrospective. So there you can mention, and it will really help you to to justify your point. And it is also very effective as well when you mention this, because that shows your learning attitude. And then another function of these developers is that definition of done, that they have to adhere to definition of done. So what is definition of done? Definition of done is a checklist, which is, there will be some pointers that you need to check in order to mark a story as complete, that you have completed this story. You cannot do it without checking all the boxes for definition of done. Okay, so we'll be learning about definition of done. Like, if I have to say it in some words, then it is we have this checklist where which is containing that all the acceptance criteria are met, and it should be okayed by product owner or maybe code review. These can be the part of definition of done, which will, in later videos, we will see it in, when we'll be explaining about Jira and all of that. There I will talk about it in like it is now. I have talked in a brief, but later I'll explain it in a more explanatory way, so there you'll be understanding it completely. So what are the key takeaways from it? What developers do? So they build the product increment, they plan the sprint on the first day of the sprint, they ensure the quality of that sprint or that product, that in the product increment that we have built in a particular sprint, and in the long term obviously of the product, and adapt daily. That daily they have to keep the track, what they have achieved till now, what are the hurdles coming, and how they can improve, and how can they come over those hurdles, those impediments. And continuously they have to improve, and they have to follow the definition of done as a rule book. Okay, so it is a rule book which they have to follow in order to ensure that they are following all the procedures in a well manner. Okay, so that's it in the today's video. Tomorrow what we'll do, we'll learn about the Scrum Master's role. That will be a very important role, so do mark your attendance there. So then if you found this video helpful, then you can subscribe my channel, and you can put the comment in case of any query, and I'll resolve that query in the comment itself. So okay, then see you.